All right, welcome back for another episode of Traffic Talk. So let's just give everybody a couple minutes to get in here. Yeah, if you're new to this, this is basically something that I'm doing every couple weeks, where we just sort of hang out and go live and talk about internet marketing, affiliate marketing, other trends in other industries like crypto. Um, but yeah, feel free to type in the chat, ask any questions that you want. This is pretty casual, so I have some talking points prepared. But if you are curious about anything that I'm talking about, by all means, go ahead and ask it in the chat. So first things first here, I really just want to let you know that I have nothing here to sell. So I'm not here to sell courses or to sell coaching. This is really something that I'm doing just for pure value and pure education. So if you're in the affiliate space, if you're an internet marketer, um, if you're in the lead gen business like I am, yeah, you'll get a lot out of this. So anyways, let's get into it. So, we talked a little bit about in the last episode how I was branching out across multiple different traffic sources. And today we're going to go a little bit more in depth as far as, how we really got profitable on these different traffic sources, what some of our findings were, what sort of our trial and error process has been on, getting profitable on traffic sources like YouTube, TikTok, etc. So let's see here. Let's talk about sort of our journey on YouTube. So we talked about this a little bit last week, but this week we're going to go a little bit more in depth on this topic. So, like I said, I started testing YouTube ads like back in September. Um, about 3-4 months ago, started learning about it. I went through the Profit Singularity program that was focused on running YouTube traffic to ClickBank offers and VSL style affiliate offers. And we tried to model what the course taught pretty closely at first. So the course teaches you how to basically use stock footage and robotic voiceovers to create video ads, and it teaches you, the media buying tactics behind YouTube. So we started out testing these ClickBank and MaxWeb offers, and we didn't really have the best result at first. So we spent about $50,000 testing these offers, and for the most part, we found that our clicks were costing around $1 on YouTube, but our offer EPCs were also around $1 too. So I don't know what it was, if it was just, maybe we didn't test enough offers. We ended up testing about 15 different offers in 15 different campaigns across a lot of different verticals. Most of the top offers on like ClickBank and MaxWeb. Granted, we could have gone further and tested more, but we just weren't having good results with these ClickBank and MaxWeb video sales letter style offers. So we decided to pivot. And, at a certain point, I just really just went crazy, like throwing a lot of different offers at the wall and just seeing what stuck. So we ended up pivoting to testing lead gen offers, and we actually started to get some traction pretty quickly on testing lead gen offers. So what I found on YouTube is that you really need a higher EPC to really see profit potential. So seeing these $1 or $2 EPCs on the VSL offers wasn't enough. I was looking for something north of like $3 or $4 at least, that would consistently pull those EPCs. And we ended up testing we actually had an easier time getting profitable with higher payout lead gen offers in sort of these mainstream lead gen verticals like insurance and finance that pay more and have high caps and also have high EPCs. So what we've experienced is that our clicks are usually costing somewhere in the $1 or $2 range, depending on how good or bad an ad is. And for us to really make profit on that, we're looking for our earning per click to be north of like $3 or $4. So we'll talk more about like testing video ads on YouTube next. Um, for landing pages on YouTube, we found that pretty simple landers are working well. In the course, they taught a strategy of basically building these really simple landers that have like a headline, an image, subheadline, call to action. So we sort of modified that, but just geared towards lead gen. Um, we also found that pay per call was profitable too. So instead of directing to just a lead form after they click through the lander, putting in a call to action for them to call a phone number is actually profitable too. So yeah, we're doing things both ways. In the Profit Singularity course, they talked about tracking, and I don't want to like rain on their parade or anything like that, but their tracking strategy in the course was to basically manually upload conversions using ClickMagick as the tracking software. And we just really did not find that to be a good approach at all. With YouTube, it's really important to get your conversions firing as conversions are happening, because it's really important for the Google Pixel to be getting that data in so that they can show your ads to the right people. And um, I some of my media buyers are international, overseas in different time zones, and the data at first when we were testing this strategy with ClickMagick, manually uploading the data the next day just wasn't really a good approach for us. So we ended up going with the tracking tool RedTrack, which is pretty similar to Volume. The user interface is almost identical. I believe it's a little bit cheaper, but they actually have a Google integration that works really well to post back conversions to your Google account. So yeah, we've been really liking RedTrack. It's made a really big difference to have the pixel conversions coming in as they occur. And if you've been going through that same program that I went through, and you've been manually uploading your conversions the next day or later in the day, I would definitely advise moving over to RedTrack, and you'll see a huge uptick in your conversions. Okay, so let's see. Somebody asked if advertorials are not effective for YouTube. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't like jump to any conclusion as far as something being like something like an advertorial not being effective. I mean, the landing pages that we run are basically advertorials, but they're very, very abbreviated. So instead of having like many paragraphs of ad copy and text, we might run something that looks like an advertorial, but it's just a image, a headline, an image, a small paragraph of ad copy, and a call to action button. So yeah, I mean, advertorials can definitely work, and I'm not saying like a longer advertorial wouldn't work either. Yeah, it's all about just testing. Okay. So let's see. So somebody asked what verticals are hot right now. Honestly, if you're in the lead gen space, you need to be focusing on the verticals that have the highest amount of cap, that are usually more competitive, but cap is the name of the game. So what vertical is hot is the vertical that can do 50 grand a day, 100 grand a day plus in volume. and have an EPC that's north of $3 or $4. So we're looking at really the major lead gen categories like insurance, finance. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about how to test video ads for YouTube. Okay. So first things first, we started testing out, when we started running YouTube ads, we started out with an approach of basically what the course was teaching of writing a script and then adapting stock footage and adding captions to the script. Um, and honestly, we had a pretty low success rate with this strategy. Again, I'm not trying to knock the course. It was actually a really good course, and the training for the most part was very good as far as the copywriting and the video production training and the media buying stuff. It was all fantastic, but I think in the course, the Profit Singularity course, they were really trying to figure out an approach if they could teach people that just like anyone could do, like anyone can go download clips from a stock footage site and launch an ad. But we tested about 50 or something ads that were using this style of only using stock footage, and we had a very low hit rate with our ads. So out of 50 ads that we tested doing this, we only had one ad that was a real winner. And to me, that's just it's not good enough. We had to spend a lot of money, like 50, 70 grand on all these ads to just find one winner. Ideally, we'd want to have a much better hit rate on our ads than that. So we basically adapted some additional strategies into our ads to increase the success rate of the ads. And a big thing is to incorporating user generated content alongside your stock footage. Okay, so a user generated content, um, it's an ad that basically is filmed like from the perspective of a real user, of them filming some sort of testimonial style ad. Usually, you're not actually, having real users of your offer do this, but it's more so paid actors that are a representation of a user. Okay, so you can use stock footage. It's I'm not saying that stock footage doesn't work, but if you're only relying on stock footage, then you're probably going to have a hard time having like a consistent hit rate on your ads. And incorporating actual organic content into your ads of actors that look like they could be real users that are you know incorporated into a creative way into your ad. That it makes a huge difference. So another thing is to um, really go above and beyond with your video editing. So if you can test custom animations and really work on making a strong call to action. So, just having like a 10-second countdown timer at the end of the ad may not be enough. You may need to have an animated um, clip that has down arrows that point to a call to action button and really encourage the click a little bit more. So yeah, definitely I would advise really stepping up the game as far as video editing and sourcing your user generated content. So for me, I'm not a big video editor, so I actually had to hire people for these different areas. So um, I've been hiring actors to do user generated content. Fiverr is a good place to look for talent like that. I have people that are doing video editing on the team. It wasn't really until we stepped the ad production quality up significantly that we were able to really start to get profitable and be successful. Okay, other than the actual clips in the video and the video editing side, the script is super important too. So you need to test a lot of scripts, and really the first 5 second of the script is the most important. So if you have an ad that's showing promise, you're going to want to rotate and test a handful of different 5 second hooks in the beginning of your video ad to figure out what is going to bring the user into the ad. And really the best way to start an ad is to start it in a way that doesn't really seem like an ad. So if you were starting it in a way that's super generic way to start, a traditional advertisement, the user is probably just not going to be that interested. But if you can figure out a way to lead the user into the offer in a way that isn't um, as sort of ad like, then you can do much better. Okay. The next thing is to use spy tools for ideas and for angles for your ads. So there's certain spy tools like VidTao that you can use for YouTube. That's VIDTAO. I believe that's actually a free one. But really, what you're going to want to do is have a handful of different spy tools that you're using, and don't be limited to one thing. So if there's a winning ad on Facebook, this is something that could potentially be adapted to YouTube too. So using a spy tool like AdSpy could be um, could be good. There's another spy tool for TikTok that I'll tell you about here in a minute. Okay, so let's see. Let me go ahead and check the comment section here. So somebody asked, do you think lead gen is still the best method for affiliate? I people do all kinds of different things with affiliate marketing. Some people swear by only running offers on ClickBank. Um, the lead gen space is just an area where we've found better results in. So yeah, I'm not going to say that another style of affiliate marketing works or doesn't work. Of course, they do work. There's people that do very well on ClickBank and this and that. But one thing that I was skeptical about, like with running ClickBank offers, especially going through this course, is that there were just thousands of people that either bought the course or ripped it from a pirating site that are all sort of testing the same type of offers, um, the same verticals, the same weight loss, nutra, diabetes stuff, and there's really not that many of these offers. So um, you know, you're going to be able to do better in verticals that just aren't as competitive in general. And on some traffic sources, certain verticals could be competitive. Like if you're running car insurance on Facebook, for example, it might be really competitive. But then if you try it on TikTok, it might not be as competitive because people just aren't running it there. So yeah. So somebody asked, how elaborate is your YouTube targeting? Broad like Facebook or more layered or specific? So here's the thing when it comes to targeting. So in the course that I went through, they were talking about just setting the targeting completely broad and open. I think that can certainly work if you have a lot of pixel data, but in the beginning, you need to at least give Google some sort of direction as far as like what audience to go after. And getting too specific can end up making your traffic cost a lot more. Like if you're only targeting specific keywords that people are searching for on YouTube or Google, it's going to cost more. But what we found to be effective is just basic topic targeting paired with basic age targeting. So if you're promoting, um, you know, a certain vertical like car insurance, for example, you would want to target some sort of topic related to car owners. And then you would want to set an age demographic that would make sense for that offer. So maybe for car insurance, like I don't know, 20 plus or something like that. So yeah, you just want to sort of think about what your demographic is that you're promoting to. And I definitely wouldn't advise getting like too narrow with the targeting right off the bat, but you also don't want to go completely broad either. Okay, let's see. So someone said, I loved that course, talking about profit singularity. So yeah, really great course. And again, I'm not trying to knock it at all, but there were certain things that we had to change in our approach in order to really make it work. You know, and people are having great results with that program. So I'm very happy that they did it. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on too. So um, anyways, I want to move on to talking about TikTok. So TikTok is a really interesting traffic source right now. The biggest thing with TikTok is that traffic is cheap over there. So the CPMs are pretty low. There's a lot of users on TikTok, and the ad platform is relatively new. So not a whole lot of big brand spending has come on the TikTok yet. It's pretty similar to where Facebook was in the early days. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of profit potential on TikTok. We're doing some good volume on there. We're certainly looking to scale up a lot more. But yeah, TikTok is very, very similar to Facebook. So the ad platform user interface is almost identical to Facebook, and the same campaign structure that you would use on Facebook also is the same on TikTok. There's a few nuances to TikTok that we'll talk about here. Um, the main thing about TikTok is that you got to realize that if you are running volume on TikTok, um, your ads are going to die pretty quickly. So you really need to be prepared for your ads to need to be refreshed about every 2 to 3 days on TikTok. So it's not really this like similar to Facebook where you can just run a winning ad for months. Um, on Facebook, you might need to refresh an ad like every 2 to 4 weeks or something like that. But on TikTok, it's a matter of days. So what that means is that you really need to have your process dialed in as far as basically sourcing your ads, right? So we actually got our initial traction on TikTok by doing something really simple of basically taking winning ads from Facebook from AdSpy, the spy tool, and basically just launching them on TikTok. Okay. And yeah, we actually saw some great results with that. So yeah, there was a car insurance campaign that we got profitable on by basically just right clicking and saving a video from a Facebook ad, resizing it, adding a little bit of text onto it and launching it on TikTok. But if you're really trying to like crush it above and beyond like an average affiliate, just ripping and running is probably not going to cut it in the long run. So what you need to be prepared for on TikTok is to have a system of basically reliably sourcing your own creatives that are unique, right? So what that means is that you basically need to hire actors, and you need to have a network of different actors that you need to vet them and build this up over time, but having at least 20 to 25 different actors that you could contact on a weekly basis might yield you maybe like 2 or 3 winning ads per week on TikTok, which would be somewhere in the ballpark of what you would need to maintain a significant scale. So obviously it costs money to hire actors. It costs hundreds of dollars for at least like a bare minimum sort of well, you can get cheaper actors. Like there's people that'll make ads for like 20 or 30 bucks. But if you want an actual good actor that's going to be enthusiastic and bring their own creativity to the table, you need to be prepared to spend upwards of 300 plus dollars per creative. So having a network of actors that you can use to produce your own ads is really like what the big players are doing on TikTok. So yeah, there's a bunch of different ways that you can source this. Maybe a good place to start would be on Fiverr. There's a lot of talent on there. Um, okay, and that being said, there's also a really good spy tool that we're liking for TikTok. The spy tool is called Pipi Ads, Pipi ads. So yeah, it's similar to Ad Spy for Facebook, but yeah, all adapted to TikTok. So if you're looking just for some general ideas of inspiration or ads to model, that would certainly be a good place to start for any category of offer that you're going to be promoting. Um, so that being said, I do have a friend here locally who has a creative agency for TikTok ads. His name is Akash. He's not paying me for this. I'm not getting compensated for this. He's just a friend of mine locally here that helped me sort of nail down my own process for hiring creators to make content and ads for me. But he actually has an agency that he runs as a business. It is on the more expensive side. So, this would be better for maybe a full-fledged brand or, a more established super affiliate that's just really looking for like a reliable production of consistent ads. He charges around 12 grand a month for his agency, but he'll deliver about 10 assets a week or 40 assets a month of UGC style ads. And, he has a network of 100 something actors that he works with to produce these ads. So again, I'm not getting paid for this. It's just a buddy of mine here locally. So I thought I would share this with you. I'll give you his email if you want to reach out to him. It's Akash Deer. That's spelled AAKASHDHEER at gmail.com. And you can chat with him about that creative service if you'd like. Okay. Anyways, let's see. So somebody asked, what are the demographics for TikTok? So yeah, I mean, some people think that TikTok is just all young people, but it's not necessarily true. There's an enormous amount of users on TikTok and all sorts of different age demographics. So yeah, I mean, you can even target seniors on TikTok. Um, Somebody said, could you please repeat his email? Sure. So the email is AAKASHDHEER at gmail.com. Akash Deer. Okay. So let's move on from this. Let's talk a little bit about building a team. Okay, so I've mentioned in the past video that I'm hiring people. I actually, brought on some recent hires, actually from people that reached out from that video. So, you know, if you reached out to me about working with me as my media buyer, and I um, went with somebody else, please don't take it personally. We are going to be hiring again in the upcoming months here, and I'm going to be looking to expand my media buying team by probably 2 more media buyers in the next handful of months. So yeah, but I want to talk a little bit about tips for hiring people. So if you're a one-man show, if you haven't started to build a team under you yet, this is for you. So I've learned a lot from hiring media buyers over the years. We've hired dozens of media buyers over the years, and I've picked up a lot of knowledge as far as how to approach it. So one big thing that I found when it comes to hiring media buyers is to not hire people that you need to train from zero. So, having experience is a big, big thing. I can't stress that enough. So if you're really looking for like an A+ player to knock it out of the park for you, they need to have some prior experience media buying. It can take years for somebody to learn media buying and become profitable from square one. So if you're looking to train and hire from scratch, it's going to be very, very challenging. You know, I would also suggest to hire slow. So I'm never too quick to hire somebody. I'd want to just really go through like a traditional interview process of like reviewing their resume and doing a one-on-one interview and really taking the time to answer, to ask them important questions and to understand more about their experience, who they are as a person, compatibility, how really try to think about how we would work together if they're a good listener, um, stuff like that. So it's even when you do pick someone, you're going to want to implement a 2-week trial process before bringing them on full time. So, even there's been a handful of instances in the past 6 months where I've, had a really good feeling about a media buyer, I've hired them. But then, in a 2-week trial process, I've realized that they're just really, not working very hard or not listening to me or certain issues and just having that 2-week trial process in place will save you a lot of time and headache because the last thing that you want is to get 6 months down the road and be frustrated because you hired somebody and they're not living up to the potential that you thought they had. um, Also, I would recommend to hire people that are willing to go all in with you. So, hiring people that are juggling a side job or juggling their own clients or juggling a bunch of different things, it's really not ideal. So, you really want to be hiring people that are willing to basically drop everything that they're doing and work 100% with you. I mean, even if they're running their own affiliate campaigns, like if they're a good affiliate, like they should really be looking to make that like a 5% focus and focus 95% of their energy on working with you. Um, the last thing that you want is to hire a media buyer and you know you'd want to hire someone with experience, right? So it's kind of tricky because they might be running some of their own campaigns and you might ask them to test like 4 or 5 ads in a day or something like that, and they're just not giving you enough time in the day because they're too busy managing their own things. So it's sort of a tricky situation where you want to be hiring people that are really good and have experience and have a good track record, but you also don't want to be hiring people that are just too busy to work with you. So um, hiring people that are in a position where they're more hungry and maybe, they have a good track record and have, some good success and a lot of skill, but maybe, their budget isn't quite there to run campaigns on their own, or, um, they don't have the financing required to really take it to like a multi-million-dollar level or something like that. You know, People that are hungry to make good money and also have a good experience are generally the people that you want to be picking. Okay, so if you're looking to build a team and you don't really have any idea as far as who you could hire in your pipeline, I mean, the best way to find people to hire, honestly, is by building an audience, right? So, a lot of our, big success of starting to hire media buyers was when we started to put ourselves out there a little bit and to provide value and to provide education for people. So, a lot of people in the affiliate industry like to just sort of hide behind their walls and, make um, money in silence and not really share with anyone what they're doing. And that's fine, but it is a little bit limiting. So if you're not like a super networker and you're not, going to events every month or connecting with people online somehow on a very frequent basis, and you're a one man team, maybe you're a super affiliate and you're looking to branch out, you need people to know who you are to want to come work for you, to have somebody want to say, I'm willing to drop everything that I'm doing and focus 100% of my time and energy to like whatever you tell me to do. um if people have no idea who you are, then your chances of finding lots of people that are going to want to do that with you are low. So yeah, that kind of brings me into my next point here is to, if you're an affiliate, if you're a successful affiliate, become a creator. I really appreciate what the people who made the Profit Singularity course did, because they're the ones that are pushing this space forward. People are watching the course that have no experience, and they're learning how to do affiliate marketing, and it's making our whole space grow bigger. And it's really a net positive for everyone. You don't have to sell courses. You don't have to sell coaching to be a creator, but putting yourself out there and just basically documenting your journey and letting people know who you are, what you're doing, provide value to other people. It's super important for many different reasons. Like I just said, it'll help you grow your own business. The more people that know who you are in your industry, the more people that you can do business with, the more people that you can hire as a media buyer. But also, it's a net positive for the entire space if you can basically become a content creator and a value provider publicly in this space. You're pushing the entire industry forward, which is really important for the long-term growth of this industry. So, um, you know, my brother Peter and I, we did our part of building our own courses back in the day. We really didn't make like significant amount of money of it, but we ended up building a way more successful media buying business because of all the hiring prospects that we had, and just all the relationships that came forth from that. But really it doesn't matter. Like right now I'm not selling courses, but I'm just putting myself out there, and providing value. And I mean, I had so many people even just contact me and reach out to me after the last video that I did, that either wanted to run some of my offers. We have some of our own offers in our own private partner network. For people that run our offers, we had clients reach out that wanted us to run traffic from like our internal YouTube team or TikTok. So yeah, I mean, don't be afraid to put yourself out there, guys. Like you're really not going to be able to get ahead if you're just sort of hiding in the shadows. Even if you want to come, even if you don't want to start your own channel, if you just want to come on here and do traffic talk with Tyler, be a co-host with me. If you have experience, if you're a good affiliate, if you have something that you want to share with people, by all means, I'm happy to have people come on here with me and do the show with me too. So yeah, reach out to me about that if that's interesting to you. Okay. So let's see. Somebody asked, do you use freelancers for certain things such as copywriting? So yeah, I've done a lot of testing in this area. You know, Hiring freelancers for copywriting can get really expensive. So a lot of freelancers like to charge a lot for their stuff, and some of them are very, very good. But um, I did a lot of hiring and testing with freelance copywriters, and I actually have been leaning more towards relying on our internal media buyers to write copy, instead of having like an outside freelancer do it. So a freelancer, if they're not familiar with the affiliate space, it can be sort of a large gap of like type of copy that really works, and just like knowledge of the offers and how it all works. Um, Affiliate marketing copy is a lot different than other types of other types of offers. So yeah, we've been really just doubling down with our internal team, and working with our guys to come up with their own copy, and really give them pointers in the right direction. Um, and like I said, it's good to just, if you're just starting and you want to find something that's winning, the spy tool is a great place to start. And you don't need to hire an experienced copywriter to go just look at what ads are working. And yeah. So somebody asked, in affiliate, is it better to pay commission or salary when someone gets to the point of hiring media buyers? Um, so what we do with our team is we start people out on a salary, because if somebody's just coming on board, like even if they are an experienced affiliate, sometimes it takes like 1 or 2 months to really have like a home run winning campaign. There's a lot of testing. Like I said before, we had to spend 70 grand, test like 50 ads. It took like a couple months for us to find a winning campaign on YouTube. And if I was paying commission only, the media buyer probably would have been discouraged at first that the results weren't there, and maybe he would have even like got so discouraged that he might have even left if like he wasn't getting profitable fast enough. But you got to understand that it does take time to find winning campaigns. And especially if you're just learning a traffic source, it could take you months. So what we do with our media buyers is we pay them a base rate salary until they get profitable. And then once they do get profitable, we're offering a 20% profit share on the campaign. And when the 20% profit share exceeds the base rate salary, um, then they will move over to a commission model of earning the 20% of the profit that the campaign generates. So we found that to be a good model. We made a mistake in the past of only doing commission. And what ended up happening is we had a couple of really good media buyers that didn't get profitable like in their first month or so, that actually quit. And that was in hindsight a big mistake, because we should have just paid them a salary and had them continue. And who knows, maybe just a week or two later they could have found a winning campaign. So um, definitely give your your people a salary to start. Somebody asked, are you interested in media buyers with 2 hours a day free? No, not really. So I'm looking for people that can be more full time at this point. So since we work very closely like one on one with all our media buyers, there's a lot of like time investment and energy that goes into like really training them to be successful with us. And if somebody really only has like 2 hours to dedicate, it's not enough. So they need to be able to work like all day on the campaigns. um, and if they're not that person, it's just not a good fit, because we can spend the same amount of time and energy working with somebody that can spend the full time day working with us, and produce much more results. Yeah, awesome. Anyways, I do want to pivot here. I do have some other areas, some other industries that I'm interested in. Mainly crypto has been really interesting these past couple years. I do want to talk a little bit about that at the end, just because I think it's important that, obviously, it's most important to put your business first. And when it comes down to either allocating money to your own business or allocating money to like crypto or something, all day you're going to want it in your own business, because ultimately that's going to be more in your control. So if you're getting started in business, like absolutely by all means, like don't be buying crypto. Like just if your business is growing and it needs capital, like keep your money in your business so that you can hire media buyers, so that you can grow quicker. Really like, Bitcoin and crypto as a whole is maybe growing around like 100% a year at this point, but you could actually compound your cash flow much, much faster than that just doing affiliate marketing. So, let's say that you have like $100,000 or something, you're um, an affiliate and you're trying to build your bankroll. If you just put that 100K into like Bitcoin, in a year, sure, maybe it's 200K. But, you know, let's say that you're earning a 20% margin on your campaign and every week, you're working on a weekly pay. So, you're able to get paid every single week on, your ad spend, and you're spending your entire business bankroll every week. So you're spending 100K a week to earn back 20K. If you're compounding 20% weekly like that, your rate of growth over a 12-month period of time is going to be astronomical. It's possible that you could grow your bankroll to potentially millions of dollars, um, if you're able to basically scale up to the amount of cash that you have available. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense to just like keep cash in your own business and don't really like worry too much about what's going on in markets or crypto. But, my brother Peter and I, we've been in business now for 9 years or so. And, when your business grows a lot, it can get to a point where it's actually hard to spend the entire business bankroll like every week or every month. So when your business gets to a point where you have excess cash flow, that's basically just sitting on your balance sheet, not necessarily being used, or you're not able to scale up to use it all at once in the near future, like in the next 3 to 6 months, then it makes sense to basically start looking at other places to invest that cash outside of a business. And there is a benefit of having diversity. So if for whatever reason your business revenue decreases, it's helpful to have other investments that are not correlated, that could be picking up the slack. Um, and it's fine to be all in on your business, and absolutely that should really be what, if you don't have a lot of excess capital, then you should be all in on your business. But we're at a point now where we've basically moved some of our business treasury into crypto, as yeah, like I said, like we weren't able to utilize all the cash flow, and we don't want to lose a lot of value on that cash by just having it sit there. So the reported rate of inflation right now is like 7%. But if you look at the price of real estate, the price of stocks, it's really more like 20% inflation over the past year or two here. So that's a lot, and you don't want cash just sitting there on the balance sheet bleeding value, if it's not able to be utilized. So crypto is really interesting. We talked a little bit last week about BTC. We're going to touch on that a little bit more this week. So, really, my sentiment towards BTC is very, very bullish in the long run. I got in this space in before there were really a lot of announcements about public companies buying Bitcoin, or before nation states started buying it. And it's pretty crazy though how the whole landscape has changed in the past couple of years. And if you haven't been in that space, it might be kind of hard to keep up. But really, when it comes down to it, there's a big um, really a big underlying revolution going on in the crypto space. Especially with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is the leading cryptocurrency. Again, I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, and we're going to talk about other crypto um, investments too. But the game theory behind Bitcoin is what's super interesting to me. So game theory is basically when you can look at a situation and basically determine that there's going to be certain outcomes based on like the fundamentals at play. And right now, the biggest fundamentals for Bitcoin is that basically it's money that no one can control, and its supply is fixed and it can't be debased. And it doesn't rely on the traditional banking system rails, so it's sort of indestructible. It's decentralized currency that can't be shut down. It can't be debased by a government, and it's really sort of simple in its design. It's pretty good at that one specific use case. And a lot of individuals, companies, and even countries are starting to realize that there's a lot of advantages to owning a sound money that isn't tied to any government. So um, we're seeing big movements across the entire world in all sorts of different areas. We talked last week about how companies started adding it to their balance sheets, and then we even had a nation state, El Salvador, adopt it. um, but just in the past week, as the price was falling, there were all these sort of announcements. So Putin said that Bitcoin mining could give Russia an advantage. Arizona introduced a bill to make BTC legal tender, which means that there wouldn't be any taxes on like buying or selling it, and it would be treated the same as just a dollar. We had Texas announce that they were aspiring to make Bitcoin legal tender too. We had Rio de Janeiro announce that they were going to have a 1% treasury allocation to crypto, probably mainly Bitcoin, if I had to guess, but I'm not totally sure on that. So, what the game theory behind Bitcoin is that basically the countries with the most to lose are really going to be the last ones to adopt it. So, U.S., China, UK, they're the ones that are basically leading the global financial system right now. And by adopting BTC, they're basically admitting that BTC is superior to the dollar or the yuan. So really, they're the ones that have the most to lose. But the more disenfranchised countries, like countries in South America, where maybe they've had their own currency in the past that's collapsed, or now their currency is dollar based, but there's record high inflation. A lot of these countries are really in a position now where they really need to be building on a solid foundation. So a country like El Salvador, they had their own currency that hyperinflated in the early thousands. Then they ended up on a dollar standard. But a dollar that has an inflation rate of like 7 to 20% a year is really not a solid foundation when a country is trying to hold it, hold a lot of it on their balance sheet. So the countries that have the most to lose are going to be the first ones that adopt Bitcoin in crypto. And we're seeing that play out right now. So, we're seeing sort of a sweep across South America, starting with El Salvador. Now we've had Brazil make an announcement. I think Paraguay, Argentina. I'm not even sure. I can't even really keep up with all of it. I know for sure that El Salvador is the only one that has a legal tender right now, but I think we're going to see that change. And really, it's an important trend shift in the game theory of Bitcoin, because you know these smaller countries, they have no incentive to be on the dollar. If they're holding the dollar, it's just getting debased. It's really not a solid foundation for them to build on. The only there's really no reason for them to be holding the dollar, but the more powerful countries are going to try to basically defend their supremacy and the dollar regime. So they're going to be the last ones to adopt it. But the larger countries also don't want to be the ones to like steamroll innovation. So, we saw China ban mining, and there was a big drop initially, like 50% reduction in the hash rate of Bitcoin, but then within 6 months, the hash rate was basically distributed to more friendly countries. and it returned to all-time high. So, any country that goes out and specifically bans Bitcoin is going to basically risk being left behind. Um, and when it's going to get interesting is when some of the bigger countries like the U.S. Identify that they could basically be a leader in the space by having beneficial regulations. So I think at the federal level, like they're pretty hesitant to do anything like make Bitcoin legal tender. Like they want to make their tax money. But what's interesting is that we're seeing a movement now on the state level. It started with Wyoming a handful of years ago, where they passed some crypto-friendly regulations. Now we're seeing a few more of the conservative states come out with their own crypto-friendly regulations. And really, this is just going to persist. So even though the Bitcoin price is down right now, the game theory of crypto is in full force, and we can see the adoption taking place like right before our eyes. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty long-term bullish. I'm actually even pretty short-term bullish too. So, I could be wrong, but I think that a lot of the selling and the downside has finished playing out here. And, I've been fully allocated for a long time. I haven't sold anything through these drawdowns. I've been through two 50% drawdowns in the past year. So there was a drawdown from 60K to 30K over the summer, and then another drawdown here from 69K to 34K just in the past month here. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty bullish from here on out. There's other areas of crypto that I am interested in. I think we'll save that for the next episode. So, in the next episode, we might talk a little bit more about smart contract networks, the trend of ETH and some of the alternative layer one ecosystems, and sort of the whole application layer of crypto. There's a whole nother wave of innovation coming in the next year here. And yeah, I'm happy to fill you guys in on everything. I've been making some investments into like early venture projects and for crypto applications across many different ecosystems. So I'm pretty tuned in to what's going on. But anyways, let's go back to the chat here. Let's see. Awesome. So, anyways, guys, I think we will go ahead and wrap up here for today. If you want to work together, so if you want to promote some of our offers as an affiliate, we have offers across all the major lead gen verticals. We focus mostly on US based lead gen offers. So, if you want to work with us as an independent publisher, you can do that. I'll put my Skype address in the description. It's tdayskype123. Again, I'm not selling courses or coaching or anything like that, but I'm mainly doing this to just connect with other affiliates. And this is sort of my way of networking and building my own network of different relationships in the space. And yeah, I suggest that you do the same too, like I said before. Anyways, guys, we'll go ahead and wrap up for today, but I'll see you in the next one. Take care.